everyone, welcome to Joyfido International. So today we got some exciting messages to share with you as always. Now we really are grateful. We thank you for all the support you continue to give us, all the messages you've been sending. We see them, we appreciate them, and we're working hard to respond to you. So today's message is like we normally do. Now remember what we stand for. We're here to empower your success. That's what Joyfido International stands for. So how are we going to do this? We're going to empower your success by guiding you on things that we have experienced, things we have worked with, things that we have made mistakes with, and we realize now that it was a mistake and we are working on changing them, or we have changed them and it's made a lot of difference in our lives. So that's the type of message that we come to share with you. Messages that will make you see life in a different way, that will make you begin to implement new things that change your life for the better. So that's what we stand for. And so today's message is going to be quite exciting. And the message is, everyone has the potential to succeed. So my name is Joyfido and welcome on board. So what type of success are we talking about? Success is that ability to achieve the things you want to achieve. I mean, one of the biggest ones I really think about all the time is, what is really the essence of our life? What are we really here to do? What do we get out of living? And so for me, the biggest answer to that has been, we are here to survive. We're here to survive. Every one of us is here to survive. But you see, what tends to go wrong is, in between, from when you were born, you've grown a little bit, now you've been to school, you've achieved basic things, you finish with the university, or depending on your situation, you didn't go to university. Whatever it is, you're now grown up, you're now an adult. And then, right from when you were young, you had dreams. When I grow up, I'm going to be this, and I'm going to be that, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to see the world, all types of things. I know the dreams I had growing up, and I'm working on them. So I'm working hard at achieving my dreams. And you will be surprised, because what it is, most times we think after a certain age we would have achieved it. We would have got all the things we need in life. But that's not how life works. I mean, there's a song in a Nigerian song, the Afrobeats, and Dangote happens to be the richest man in Africa. And this song says, Dangote is still looking for money. I mean, look around you in the world. People like Bill Gates, people like Jeff Bezos, they're still looking. They don't stop. And they are billionaires over and over and over. So we all need that survival. But you see, the message which I'm sharing is, everyone has that potential to achieve it. Everyone has that potential to succeed. Now, question is, what is stopping us? What is stopping us from achieving this success that we all want? What is stopping us from becoming this great person that we had in our head growing up? What is stopping us from surviving? Because most times, society stands on your way. I know I've done a video in the past where I said, that society actually kind of like want us to fail. Yes, that happens in places. But you see, what may go wrong or what may go right is your refusal to accept it. And I know I have been one of those people who have completely refused to accept failure. And that's why I can stand here and tell you that, yes, we all have that potential to succeed. But at I tell you what is missing. What is missing and what's stopping us from succeeding is know-how. Know-how is that ability to, how is that thing done? How do they do it? How can I do that thing? And this is why the system created education. And so we all go through these different phases. By the age of 4, you go to school, you start learning to read and write, and then you carry on. By the age of this, you're at this class, and by the age of that, you're at this class. By 16, 17, 18, you're in uni. By the time you're 21, 22, 23, you're out of uni, and then you're now left to what next? Then you should have a job. Then people will say to you, by the age of 25, you should get married and have kids. And then your children now should be going to school. So these are all phases, but then where do I know how to do what? I have dreams, I have ideas. How do I go about doing it? So education has taught us all the theoretical ways of doing things. But when you come out of your university, you do need to get on with the job. You do need to deal with the practical. You do need to deal with the physical, the reality of what life brings. And in my experience, working in so many places, I worked in banking, I worked in telecoms, and then in the end, I started my business. All of these things goes through phases where you then have, especially in the office politics. And then from the first day you join, they'll put somebody there to guide you through they call it the way we do things around here, the company culture. That's when that know-how begins to come into place. So if you have been employed in this place of work, even with your first class degree coming from whatever university, Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge, and you get to the office, they will take you through the organizational culture. This is how we do things here. That's know-how. And so without that person taking you through, this is how things are done here, you are not going to get anywhere fast. And the same thing with business. I'm not teaching people how to work with hair, giving skills in braiding and weaves and extensions and running a natural hair business. People come to my training and they think, oh yeah, now I can braid, I'm ready to run. No. I still take a day to talk my students through what I call the practical, the theoretical ways of getting into the industry itself. And then that is me just talking them through. This is what I did. This is how you do this. This is how you do that. And then when they actually do hit the market and start running with it, things are still different. That's know-how. And that's what you see most times, especially when you've done the skill-based knowledge and you finish. You still need where to do what they call work experience, what they call placements. That's know-how. So that's what's missing in all our lives. How do we find someone who's willing to share their personal experiences with us? Someone who's got what I call a roadmap. And what is a roadmap? A roadmap is like when you're taking a trip to somewhere. Right now, all of us rely on Google Maps. There was a time they had the TomTom, they had the sat-nav, and you put your address in it, and it takes you there. It tells you turn right, turn left, turn right, turn left. Now, way before that, we had what they call the maps. There was a physical map, a paper map. That when you're going somewhere, you look at it, you track your movement. You navigate it, you go, okay, I turn off at that street and I get onto that other street and I go this way and I go that way. And most times, it got to a point, people could not travel if they haven't got that map with them. But right now, because we enjoy traveling a lot, we're always on the road, all we do now is key it onto Google. Put it on your iPhone and you start your journey. And then it actually speaks back at you. Or when you get to this junction, turn right. When you get to that junction, turn left. That is a roadmap. Now, would it not have been fun in life if we had someone take us through a roadmap of life, would it not have been fun? I can tell you this because I got children. And now I'm looking at my children and I'm wishing that they will listen to me because I have been through life for this long. And they're just young kids trying to find a way in life with their great dreams in their head. And now, where is the roadmap to take you, handhold you to go through life? The same applies to everyone out there. And that's why, I always bring back my Africa and my Nigeria. That's why those of us in Africa and Nigeria, we're struggling. Because there's no one with this roadmap to guide us how to go about life. And it hurts. It hurts so bad because I have so many relatives who have come and gone. And then you look back and you go, what did they achieve? So remember what I'm talking about, survival. Survival is one of the biggest reasons we are here, to just survive and achieve the mission, which I know there's a great mission in all of us. The idea is for us to achieve that mission. But if we haven't got anyone willing to guide us through, what then happens? So my big take here is, you have that ability to survive. Every one of us have that ability to survive. But this is where we now have to start looking out for who can give us that roadmap to get this knowledge that we seek. Who can give us this guidance, this know-how that will take us through the hurdles of life. Because as you are navigating through life, just like going on that journey, and then you need the sat nav, and you need the Google map. You need someone to be your Google map, to talk you through things when things get really rough, to tell you that don't worry about it, because this can happen. This has happened to so many other people, but you can overcome it. That's what roadmap is about. And so we all have that potential to go through whatever it is. And I want you to just take that on today. Begin to realize that for you to go through life and survive comfortably, to achieve those success that you're looking for, and that greatness that you dreamt of as a child, all you're looking for is a roadmap. Okay, so while we are beginning to find guidance, we're beginning to look around and we're beginning to know people who can help us. Now, the reason I'm saying we're beginning to is because that's what I expect you to do. That's what I want you to do. You remember what I said, that I'm still looking and I'm still chasing, I'm still walking through life, wanting to find answers to my questions. That's what I want you to do. But with this realization that all of us can achieve it, now that gives us hope. It gives me hope. And I hope I'm hoping that you're finding hope in what I'm saying to you as well. Because there is a clear possibility that you can achieve what you want. All that's standing on your way right now is know-how. All that's standing on your way is guidance, is a roadmap. Now, a question you probably want to ask me is, how do I get that roadmap? What do I need to do to achieve guidance? Now, this is where today's message gets really exciting. There are answers out there. There are solutions out there. You don't need to look far to find them. I mean, right now, according to Bill Gates, this is the best time to be alive. Why? Because the answers are all at our fingertips. Our phone, our tablet. Everything you're looking for right now is online. Everything is online. And while I enjoy reading books and all of that, these are some of the books I've been looking at recently. Social networking, social media millionaires, Facebook marketing. Now, what's happened with the digital world where we are right now? You remember in the last video I talked about the new normal and how life has changed. One of the things we found out, which is very true, most of us struggle to handle change. Because whenever any new thing happens, it's a natural human tendency to shrink away from change, to be afraid of change. Because we've been comfortable with what we knew. And so we don't want to deal with anything new. What if I fail? What if it doesn't work? What if I don't know how to use it? So all the usual what ifs come into play. And so we avoid dealing with the new. But you see, that's not an attitude for success. If you want to run away from change, you're telling yourself, I don't want to succeed. So the answer to it is completely face the new. Completely take on the challenge. Completely welcome change. And I experienced this. I've told you over the years, watching my channel, that I came from Africa into this new environment. Completely new. And I had to deal with a huge culture change. A huge cultural shock. A brand new environment dealing with a completely new set of things. I wasn't young. I was 28 years old by the time I came here. So you can imagine with my upbringing in Africa and everything I knew, and I had to now abandon that to learn new things. That's what change is. But what did I do? I embraced it. It was a struggle. I struggled and knew that it was going to get worse and worse, but I took it on. And because you take things on, one of my books here, The Biology of Belief, it says anything you take on, the subconscious gradually accepts it. And what happens is the subconscious is what runs our day. Only about 5% is run by the conscious mind. Conscious being, you're physically here, you accept that you're physically here, and you deal with what's happening now. But the subconscious begins to tell you, I know it already. It's like a database. And so the minute you give the subconscious some information over and over and over, it runs you. So this is what happens, like most times when you get into the car, now you're used to a particular way of driving out, your mind just takes over, and you might still be thinking about something else. You're actually driving the way you normally drive. That's the subconscious at work. So, because we've kind of allowed ourselves to accept this new change, the subconscious catches up with it and says it's okay, I can handle it. And because 95% of our day is run by the subconscious, we now gradually get comfortable. But you see, it's that first time of hitting that change that we fight it. So what you have to do is accept it. So what's happening right now with the new normal, lots of people are lost. Lots of people are struggling to cope with the change. Why? Because now offline, which is our daily, on the street, in the shops, jobs have started disappearing. So people are losing jobs. So they're thinking, oh my gosh, what future do we have right now? Things are so hard. My life is difficult. But you see, as nature has it, there's no vacuum in nature. So while there are no jobs offline now, there are now jobs online. Do you see how this makes a lot of sense? This is why books like this are absolutely necessary for you right now. This is why the internet is absolutely necessary for all of us. Because any topic you want right now is there online. If you want to lose weight, there are people teaching you how to exercise every day. If you want to learn how to do your makeup, there are people teaching you how to do your makeup every day. If you want to do your hair, that's one of the areas I go into. There are people teaching you every hairstyle. So this is not the time for us to start thinking we're not going to achieve anything anymore because there are no jobs out there. This is the time for us to change the way we see life. Because life has changed, we have to change too. And some people say, upgrade your mind. Just Just like we said about the phone. I remember I did a video where I explained the same way our phone gets upgraded all the time, our mind needs to upgrade itself to catch up with the way the phones have changed. So that know-how is sitting down there waiting for us. And there's a saying that says, once the student is ready, the master is waiting. The master is the internet right now. The master is Google. The master is out there, knowledge is out there, knowledge being the master is waiting for all of us. All we have to do is chase it. All you have to do is ask these questions. Now I'm going to take you through some of the steps I think will benefit you and I to catch up with this success that we're looking for. And step one is question everything. There is nothing out there that you need to just accept for the sake of it. I mean, there's a video I was watching recently. This lady is talking about clearing your skin. You know, when we have problem skin, spots, sunburn, all the usual things that happen. And so I tend to look at things like that. My daughter, her skin gives her a lot of problems, and so we're looking at how we can clear her skin. And then obviously, as I get older, my skin becomes a problem as well. So I'm looking at how I can work on my skin to look healthier. And I'm going online and I'm searching, and this lady is coming up with all these names of ingredients that's good for your skin, natural ingredients. And she says, don't take my word for it. Go and do your research. That's what it is. That's what it is. You have to question everything. You seek answers to anything you don't understand. Ask questions constantly. Never stop asking. Because what happens, the more questions you ask, the more answers you get. And one of the little tips I give to everyone, including my children, is don't ask just one person. That's my biggest tip. Because even when I travel, and I'm in a new place, a strange place, and I don't even know which direction is where, that's when I'm not using Google Maps. Even when you're using Google Maps, I've had that issue where it's taking me that way and I wanted to go that way. And sometimes as you're going, how I know that I'm in the wrong way is when the minutes or the time that it told you could get there begins to add up more. It gets longer. Then I go, oh, I'm on the wrong path, because it should be getting less. So now you ask these questions and Google will answer you. So continue to ask questions. Don't stop. And so if I'm in a new place, I remember one time I traveled to US, and this was in New York, and I was in the subway, and I was asking questions as I was going around, because I'm going to this place and I've never been there before, and I wanted to know my way. So I'm not asking one person. Why is that? Because the person may be leading you astray. And so I'll go and ask another, and I'll ask about 4 different people, and if everyone is pointing to the one direction, then I know that is the right place. But if you were to ask just one person and you just follow that one person, the person may not even know the way, and the person just says, just to say something to be kind, and then you end up going the wrong way. So that's the same thing with everything else in life. You have to ask as many people as possible these questions to ask as many people. And if everybody's saying the same thing, then you have an idea that you are on the right track. So ask a lot of questions. The next one is curiosity. Be curious about anything you want to see in life. Now, I remember attending one of those events, and what the man said was his curiosity was so amazing that whenever it was Christmas time, when his parents bought gifts and put under the tree, when everyone's sleeping, he would sneak and go and open the one with his name on it, just for him to know ahead of time what's in that package. Now, curiosity is such a good thing, but lots of people think curiosity is bad. Curiosity is good. When I get into a new environment, which we just did recently, we just moved house. My natural curiosity, I will go out and find out about my neighborhood. I want to know which road goes where, which road doesn't go where. Now, the reason that works for me is, as people are asking me questions, I know what to tell them. Now, by you being curious, you also get to know things that's happening around you that nobody would have told you. And I know lots of people, most times in any gathering, even while I'm in school, and I ask my teachers questions and I ask people around, admin staff, what's going on here. Some students say, oh, no one told me. Even in the home, no one told me. People say to you, no one told me. And I always ask, so who is this no one that should have told you? Is your natural curiosity that will give you answers to things. And the Bible told us that too. You have to seek. Remember the word. You have to seek. What does that say to you? Seek. You look for it. The thing will not look for you. Life will not look for you. You have to look for solutions in life. So seek. If you seek, you will find. That's how simple as life is. And when I carry on that way of doing things in my life, and I meet people who don't naturally ask questions, who are not curious about anything, I always wonder, how do you cope? So be curious. That's all I'm really saying here. Be curious. And right now, the best person to be curious to is your phone, your internet, your computer, your World Wide Web. There is answer to everything. I mean, people even say it is so bad that even the undesirable is there as well. But of course, you have to know what you're looking for. Don't go asking for the wrong things. Ask for what you want, because you're trying to survive. You're trying to find this way to succeed. The answer is out there. Knowledge. Knowledge is number 3. Pay money to gain more knowledge. That's my biggest advice to anyone who's asking me questions. How do I cope with something? How do I find the answer to something? Yes, it's good to be curious and ask basic questions and you get basic answer. But you want to go detailed. You want to know more. You want to know how you can set up your life. You want to know how to make things better for you. Knowledge. Bible said it too. I always take you to the Bible. Of everything you are looking for in life, knowledge is the first thing you have to have. And that's the know-how we were talking about. Because if you don't know anything about that field, how is anyone supposed to move you to the next level? I mean, this is how simple as it is. First, you have a passion for something. And once you've got that passion, the next stage is, I want to get really good at this. We talked about this in one of the videos. I want to get really good at this. And then once you've gone to, I want to get really good at this, you pay money to get good at it. And I know for me, skills does it all the time. It's one thing to say, oh yeah, I'm going to get all the academic degrees and have my first class and move up to my doctorate and become a professor. It's okay to say all of that. But if you want to have cash in your hand that will keep your life going, skills is the answer. And so if you want to gain skills, and that's why skills are so expensive. No one wants to carry the skills they spend years to achieve and just hand it over to you for the sake of it. And one of the ones I really love to share with people is, one of the things I say to people is, don't just go out there begging people for money. I know so many people who do that. Please, Please, can you give me money? I don't have money. I need money. That's not where your interest should be. Your interest is, I want skills. That should be your interest. I know so many relatives, and when they come to me, all I want to say to them is, what do you really enjoy doing? Can we push that to the next level? Because skills, people need skills so desperately out there. I had to pay someone who is based in Nigeria to create logos for me. Now imagine that type of skill. But there are people who rather chase me and beg me for money. There was a time I put a message on Facebook and I said, if you need my support to help you grow, please send me messages and I'll support you. And all I was getting was, I need money, I need money, I need money. What I wanted to hear from people was, I'm trying to run XYZ business. Can you guide me how to grow my business? Can you tell me the things I need to do to make this work? I have the skill to do this, but can you tell me how to move it to the next level? That's what will help you grow. And you know what they say? Give a man fish, he eats for a day. Fish is money. Here, I take 1,000 pounds. Here, I take 2,000 pounds. That money finishes. And you remember what I talked about? Dangote still looking for money. Jeff Bezos still looking for money. Money finishes. If you have 1 billion pounds, dollars, whatever in a bank account, and there's no more money coming in, it will finish. So that's why it's so important that you have something that keeps dropping money into your bank account consistently. Now when that happens, your life is set up. That's where we all want to be. To keep doing something that keep recurring, bringing more money into your life. That's where we all want to be. Because I say to people, it is so easy to spend money, but it's not easy to make money. I mean, you could just buy one thing and it takes all the money you have. Example, buying a house. Building a house. It goes just like that. So you can never tell yourself that, oh, look, I have enough money. So what you should be chasing, like this whole video is about, is know how. How do I make my money multiply? How do I make my skills bring me more money? And that's that, teach a man to fish and he feeds for life. So if I give you tips, hints and tips of how you can make things better, how you can turn your creative hands to something amazing, that's where you want to be. So you have to pay for that knowledge to achieve that. And the internet is there to guide you to who will be willing to share their knowledge of skills with you, and you pay X amount for it. Willingness. That's number 4. Willingness is so hard to find. There are so many people that, even when people come for my training, they've paid their money, they've come. I am excited to share my knowledge with them. And I can read their body language. They are not prepared to learn. I've had to fight with students. Not physical fight, but we argue and quarrel. Why? Because I want to give you knowledge. I'm happy you paid me money. I want to give you value for your money. I had a student who was like, I want to go out for lunch. I want to go do some shopping. I couldn't find where to park my car. And the excuses were not making any sense. And I felt it. This person has traveled from faraway country to be with me to gain this knowledge. For me, it matters a lot to my reputation that you don't leave this place without that knowledge in your hands. Then you go home and you achieve the results that you came here for. I'm excited about that. That's what I do with my students. And that's why no one comes out of working with me and say, I didn't get the skill. But I see the ones who still want to, and so that hunger for knowledge, not willingness to take advice, to take information, to listen carefully and pick up on the hints. That's what you need to be successful. So number 5 is action. Now we've become curious, we've taken advice, we've got knowledge, we've questioned everything. But action practically to me is like one of the biggest ones we need to do to succeed. Why is action so important? You may have all the knowledge. I mean, one of my friends recently said, brain dump. Brain dump. Because it's one thing to know something, it's another thing to put it into action, like actually do it. And it's that action that changes everything in life. It's one of the places where I still am as well. There's so many things I know. I sought knowledge like crazy. I don't stop seeking knowledge. I have spent crazy money chasing knowledge. Like, you know, this whole thing I'm telling you about internet and, you know, websites and going online and digital media and social media, you name it. I have been through that. I have spent so much money chasing that knowledge. But what I then realize is whenever I finish chasing and I get home, because they're all theory, to turn my theory into practical is where then I get lost. Because for me, I want quick answer. I want it to work now. I want it to make sense. And so I chase again, and I chase again, and I chase again. And now I've realized how much money I have put into chasing knowledge. But it's all making sense now. And that's why I know that it's so important to action on the things you know. It's so important to action on the knowledge you've taken, on people guiding you, on people supporting you. Action on it. Put it into action. Wake up and do it. That action changes everything. So share. Share is number 6. So now you have taken the knowledge, now you practice it, being the action. Now you know what it is. You know your journey, how you got here. It's now time for you to share your knowledge. Share it with other people. And that's what I'm doing right now. Because when I read all these books, I don't keep it to myself. I come here and I share my experience with you. I share my knowledge with you. Everything I've been through, I don't keep things inside. I remember one of the people I used to watch a lot on YouTube, he passed on. And one of the greatest messages he shared was, die empty. Die empty. As saying, you know, we talked about survival, and we talked about you're going on a journey, you've acquired all this knowledge on the way, and now this knowledge has worked for you. There is no point you dying with all that knowledge inside you. I mean, lots of people say the richest place in the world is the graveyard. Why? Because there's so many people who knew so much and never shared it on. And so they died with their knowledge. So we need to throw out whatever we know. And I know that I still have so much I need to brain dump. So much I need to download. Bring out to the world and let the world see. I mean, one of the greatest things I've realized is the more you give to the world, the more the world gives you back. So if you keep things inside you, nothing is happening. You're not gaining anything because it's all inside you. How are you going to enrich yourself if all the knowledge is sitting in you? But see, when you bring that knowledge out, when you bring that skill out, when you bring that experience out, when you share it, as you give people, they give you back. You know, we talked about when you want knowledge, people charge you to share their knowledge with you. That's the same thing you're going to do. When you have this knowledge and you share it with people, they will pay you to have the knowledge you're sharing with them. So that's something we really must do. And that's one of the things that we struggle with in Africa a lot, in Nigeria. Lots of people have all this knowledge and they don't want to give anybody. And that hasn't helped our society. Because I live here in the West and I know how people are so eager to share. Somebody who have one little experience, they've written 20 books on that experience. And you see, when you write these books, people read it like I do. I enjoy reading. I'm sitting out here and I'm buying all these books and I'm reading them. Somebody wrote them. And that's why I know I have to share mine in that same format. So when you receive, you give. And number 7 is gratitude. Gratitude is so important in our life. I mean, we're here by the grace of God. We can wake up in the morning by God's grace. We can eat food by the grace of God. We can walk. We can talk. We can do everything we are, because take this for instance, the human body is like a machine. One little thing goes wrong and everything goes wrong. But you know what we tend to do? We take it for granted. I mean, if you want to know how grateful you should be, go and visit a hospital. Go and visit a hospital. When you see people in the hospital suffering from this one, suffering from that, suffering from that, then you suddenly realize, oh my world, I am lucky. I am lucky to be complete. Thank you, Lord, for this. And so when you show gratitude to God for his blessings on your life, for all the wonderful things he's done for you, not just you, but your relatives and all of that, then God gives you more blessings. And so I hope this is making a lot of sense. I hope this is supporting your thinking. I hope this is helping you think clearer. So I'm going to just quickly run through what the tips are. Question everything. Be curious. Chase knowledge and buy it. Be willing to learn. Take action on all the knowledge you've got. Share what you know and be grateful. So I'm going to leave it here today. I like to talk as much as it's all in me, but I know I'm taking your time. So as usual, I am grateful to you for taking your time to listen. And as usual, we are here to support you. But feel free to email us, joyfido@googlemail.com, if there's anything that's not been very clear to you. Follow us on our social media, Joyfido. I have a channel on Instagram, Joyfido. On YouTube, this is us here. And on Facebook, I do quite a lot where you can, join me there as well. I tend to share a lot of things that deal with personal development, helping us to think clearer, for us to have I call it clarity, have clarity in our thinking, so we know where we're going. We know how we can survive like everybody else. So remember to touch the notification bell, so whenever our videos come out, you'll be the first to know. And share with your friends and like us. We love more and more subscribers. Thank you so much to all our subscribers, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. God bless you.